Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here and today we're going to be testing a new foundation from NARS. It's the new Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I am wearing the foundation right now and this is my first time trying it, so this truly is a first impression. A little later in the video I will show you some footage of me applying the foundation and also some close-up shots of the foundation and my finished makeup. Of course I'm wearing concealer and some other makeup on top, but I decided not to powder my face and not to use a setting spray today. I also decided not to wear any highlight today, and I think that my skin looks really luminous, so I think the radiance part of this foundation is spot on. Let's do a little bit of product info first and then we'll get into the demo, and I'm also going to do swatches of all 33 shades of this foundation. I am just one person and only one of these shades truly matches me, but I think that it's really helpful to see the real life product swatches versus just the little digital pictures that you see online. I think this makes it easier to truly see the undertones, and that's why I really want to share swatches of all of the shades for you today. Hopefully seeing them on a real life person will help you decide which one's right for you. The foundation comes in the classic square NARS bottle. It does have a pump, thank goodness. I love foundations with pumps. I hate it when you just have to pour some out. The bottle is glass, it contains 1 fluid ounce, and this foundation will retail for $49 US. It is currently available on the NARS website and it will be launching at Sephora on December 26th. I just checked my Sephora app and of course it says coming soon. It also says that it's going to be an online exclusive, so this may not be a product that you will be able to go and swatch in store. That may change in the future, but for now it says online exclusive. We're gonna get to the product demo now and I'll jump straight into the swatches after that and give you all my thoughts at the end. Let's get this foundation party started, and of course I have this awesome, super painful zit right by my lip. So I'm gonna start by putting a little green color corrector on it. This is my favorite color corrector from Laura Geller. I'm also using the peach tone under my eyes, and I do have a moisturizing primer on already as well. It's my Too Faced Hangover RX primer. Now it's time for the NARS foundation. I'm using the shade Vienna, and you do want to shake this before you use it. Yay, a pump! Just gonna pump some out on the back of my hand, and I'm using this Tarte foundation brush to apply it first. My typical foundation routine usually works this way. I like to apply with a brush first and then go back and build up in any spots where I need extra coverage and then kind of smooth everything out with a damp sponge. I'm showing you this clip in real time, so this is not sped up at all. That way you can see how easily this foundation is blending out. Even though I preferred the finish after going over with a damp sponge, I do think that this went on really smoothly and really evenly just with the foundation brush. So here's what it looks like just with the first layer done with a foundation brush, and as you can see it doesn't look super streaky, although this definitely is not full coverage. Now I'm gonna go back over with a damp sponge and just tap over my entire face and smooth everything down. This is something I do no matter what foundation I'm using. And then I'm gonna go back and use the sponge to apply a little bit of extra foundation around my nose and along my jawline where I felt that I needed a little extra coverage. For some reason, foundation just never wants to stick to my jawline. Does anybody else have that problem? Here's what it looks like after the second layer and after the damp sponge has gone over. I think it looks pretty luminous, not too dry. I do have some sort of flakiness around the mouth, as you can see here. But my other problem areas, like my nose and in between my eyebrows, just really looked pretty darn good. Here's what it looks like with all my makeup finished. I didn't powder or use setting spray, and I do think that this looks smooth and natural and very, very skin-like. I do like the finish of this much more than Sheer Glow. When I've tried Sheer Glow in the past, it kind of bunched up in between my eyebrows and around my nose, and I do not have that issue with this foundation. Okay, let's go ahead and look at all the swatches now. I think there are some pros and some cons for this foundation. It does live up to almost all of the claims. It says that it's transfer resistant and that it resists oxidation. I think that it stayed true to color on my face. I don't think that it turned darker or more orangey on me. I do think it's a great match. And when I touch my face, it doesn't feel tacky or slippery. Even though it is a more radiant foundation, it doesn't feel dewy to the touch. It just has a dewy look, which I really like. In the materials that were sent with the foundation, it says that it's formulated to have a weightless feel. I would totally agree with that. It feels super comfortable, not cakey at all. It doesn't feel like I have any foundation on, which I absolutely love. The main thing that I want to disagree with is that it claims to have medium to full buildable coverage. And while I did find this to be very easy to layer, I really don't think that it's medium to full coverage. I would say, at least today, my first time using it, it really felt more like a light to medium. For me, that's not really a problem because I prefer light to medium coverage just for my personal preference. But since it claims to be a medium to full coverage, I just don't think it lives up to that claim. Coverage claims aside, I do like the coverage that this gives. I think that it looks really natural. It did even out my skin tone, but it doesn't look super thick and cakey like a mask of foundation. There have been so many of these super full coverage matte foundations that came out this year, and that's just really not what I'm looking for personally in a foundation. I do notice that there are a few spots, particularly around my mouth, where it looks like this foundation is clinging to some of the dry patches. However, for some reason, it's behaving really well around my nose and in between my eyebrows. That's typically a huge problem area for me. So I don't really know why this seems to be kind of flakier looking around my mouth and not in those other spots. The only explanation I have for you is that it just got super freakishly wintry cold here, and I've been trying my best to keep my skin hydrated, but when it's in the 20-degree range and it's windy, my skin just really takes a beating. A major pro for this foundation is that they're offering 33 shades. I find that NARS is usually great about offering a wide shade range, and I think 33 shades on launch of a product is awesome in a time when we're so used to seeing new foundations launch with 12 or 18 shades and then later they introduce 6 more, 10 more, whatever it may be. I love that this foundation is coming out with 33 shades. So there's a really wide variety. There's a lot of undertones, not just as somebody who reviews and recommends makeup, but just as a consumer. That's something that really appeals to me and really makes me happy. Overall, I will say that this is my favorite NARS foundation that I've actually ever tried. My first impression is I like it. I'm not living and dying for it. I still think that my L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation is better, but a foundation is something that I feel I really have to continue to use and wear and try with different concealers and different powders to see what I really feel about it. I will continue to wear this and I'll keep you updated on Instagram as I use this more. As for how it wears today, make sure you check down in the description box to see my update from the end of the day. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this foundation. Leave a comment and let me know what your favorite dewy or radiant finish foundations are. I have dry skin, so I'm always looking for the next best thing. As always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Dang it. And I'll also... Let's try this again, even though I've been filming for 5 minutes. Finally got my lighting fixed. That's fine. It's fine. It's got all the time in the world. Yes, got it right on the first try. Every time. Whatever, who cares? I just need some caffeine to keep it going. And what? I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point.